Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to go ahead and Dokkan Awaken this Kale right here, a free-to-play unit who just got a Dokkan Awakening. She's going to be very, very solid. Really for any, I think, Universal Survival Saga team, like, you know, LR UI Goku, LR Jiren, a lot of these units come out. This Kale could actually be a pretty interesting option because, you know, there is just an absolute ton, right? Of support type options for like Universe 6. I mean, I guess and Universal Survival Saga at the same time, right? But like this Kale is going to be really, really good on that Universal Survival Saga team. If you have a Khalifa around, which, you know, is very likely with how strong like LR Kale and Khalifa is, for example, this Kale would give 3 key and 40% attack and defense on a team as good as Universal Survival Saga. You guys already know how ridiculous that's going to be. And again, there's still monster behemoths coming in the future. Standalone Evolution Blue Vegeta, standalone Mastered UI Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku, and Evolution Blue Vegeta together, Super Full Power Jiren. A ton of big time options like that are coming eventually. So this Kale is very, very good for a free-to-play unit. Alright guys, so we're here in an event with our girl, the newly awakened Kale. Now again, this Kale is going to be a very solid unit to use basically on any team with a lot of Universal Survival category allies, right? Because again, she's giving 2 key and 30% attack and defense to Universal Survival Saga, which is super good, right? Like that's definitely a very, very strong number. That's going to work out very well, again, on the Universal Survival R team. I mean, honestly, Peppy Gals, Pure Saiyan, Rapid Growth, I mean, even Super Saiyan 2, like pretty much all these teams you can fill up with at least the other Universe 6 girls, right? And then boom, you're off to the races, right? Because, you know, you give like LR Kale and Khalifa or Kefla or one of these ridiculously powerful units support, and then this Kale is really going to be carrying her own weight at that point. Then Kale also gets 50% defense if there's an ally whose name includes Khalifa on the team. Okay, that's important. And then all allies get an additional 1 key and 10% attack and defense if there's an ally whose name includes Khalifa attacking in the same turn. Again, they are very careful with the wording there so that, you know, for example, you can use, whatchamacallit. I don't think Khalifa will finish this Bardock off, so we can go ahead and put Kale in. What's Kale's defense, by the way? 74k. I mean, that's not really good. That's pretty low. I mean, one reason is that Kale has very, very low stats. I mean, at Rainbow, she doesn't even have 10k attack. Her defense is only at 8,000, which I guess 8,000 is not the worst ever, but it certainly is not good by today's standards, right? So that is definitely going to, you know, hold her back a little bit in terms of the defensive area. But like for like, you know, doing just like Dokkan events and stuff like that, she's going to definitely do enough damage to be worth, or at least provide enough damage to the team, I guess I should say, to be worth running, right? Because, and there she is at 600k. But again, she's giving 40% attack and defense to the rest of the rotation, which is a huge number. And then 3 key as well. I suppose, if we're just talking about this Kale in context with the other female, like, Universe 6 Saiyans, none of them need key, really. Like, you know, even LR Kale and Khalifa, you know, they're you know, an LR, you know. You're going to want to key support them and stuff like that. But LR Kale and Khalifa, among any LR, probably need like the smallest amount of key support, right? Because not only do they give themselves a bunch of key from their passive, but they've also got what, Prepare for Battle, Tournament of Power, you know, then they got, don't they have Warriors of Universe 6? Like, they just got like a whole bunch of key links like that. LR Goku and Frieza, they're close as well, right? Where they, you know, it's pretty easy for them to consistently get their 18 key super attack to the point where it feels like it's almost guaranteed on a lot of the good teams you can run LR Goku and Frieza unit, right? So that is a very, very powerful effect. Here's Kefla. Kefla, of course, is still just like so crazy. At 3.2 million right there. I should have just had the second Kefla super attack. I was going to try and leave this Bardock alive so we don't go through him too fast, but like Kefla just did so much freaking damage right there. I mean, he's still dead. Like, Kefla is ridiculously strong, right? Like, she has a massive amount of power. Actually, he is going to survive. Okay, how about that? That's pretty good. So this is going to work out pretty well. So we have Champa on rotation now. So Champa, of course, is giving 40% to Universe 6. Plus, we do still have the Khalifa around, right, to give the extra 10% attack and defense as well as key to the rotation. I mean, that's going to be very good for Champa himself because, like, Champa and Vados are very good options. I mean, Vados you would run. because she's good defensively. She creates orbs. She's a good support type unit. You know, she dodges, like she seals, she lowers attacks. So you would run Vados pretty much always anyway. Champa, not so much. He's just good for like Dokkan events, right? Like, you know, he's very nice, like attack and defensive support. Plus he gives the key and stuff like that, which is all good. But, you know, Vados and Champa don't really link up that well with the female Universe 6 Saiyans. Like, you know, Kefla and Vados, for example, don't have key links, right? Because Vados and Champa don't have Warriors of Universe 6. And, you know, there is, of course, a difference. You know, it's representatives of Universe 7 is the category for that one, right? Which, you know, obviously, Beerus and Whis were not representatives. But for the Universe 6 category, it's just Universe 6, right? So that's going to include Champa. It's going to include Vados. You know, like if we got, like, you know, the Supreme Kai from Universe 6. Like, if they created a card for him, he'd be on there. Whereas, like, you know, again, Supreme Kai, like, if they made a card of Supreme Kai from the Tournament of Power, he would not be on representatives of Universe 7, right? So, that is sort of an interesting thing to keep in mind as well. All right, so we got a pretty good rotation here for Kefla. I figure we'll go ahead and give her this because she's going to be, you know, super effective against all types. We're going to be able to get enough orbs for her to do the multiple super attacks and stuff like that. So, like, doing some of these videos, it's just like, this just becomes like the female Universe 6 warriors, like, just like how ridiculous they are. Like, it's so insane. I really, really enjoy the Universe 6 team. I think Double Kefla Universe 6 is actually a ridiculously fun team, just because, again, the female Saiyans, they just work so well together, right? Like, you know, this team would work completely fine. Maybe just replace, like, Champa with, I don't know, LR Kale and Caulifla or something like that. You know, AGL Caulifla. You know, there's 500 different versions of Kale and Caulifla we could put on here instead. Right, just put, like, one of those on there instead, and, like, the team is going to, like, run a lot smoother. Again, Vados, or like, Kabe, get Kabe in there as well. You know, Vados is a little bit different in that, you know, again, she's creating orbs and stuff like that, so you do want her around, but still pretty good, pretty good. Alright, guys, so now we're on the Universal Survival Arc team. Now, this is going to be where I think this Kale's probably actually going to be a bit more effective, just because, again, she's giving that key, right, which the Universal Survival Arc team could need, depending upon who you're running. I mean, there's a lot of options now. Again, you have stuff like LR Goku and Frieza, you know, LR UI Goku. You have several summonable LRs of very, very, like, very, very, very high, like, power levels. And Kale, giving that key is going to be way more beneficial on this team as opposed to Universe 6, where, again, pretty much everyone is just working so well together anyway, right? So, let's see, your defense is 67k. Look at Kale and Caulifla. They start out at 137k. It's just so maddening how good they are. And then even, you know, Blue Cow King Goku, he's at not really that bad of a clip as well, considering he does build it up as he's getting hit, right? So, yeah, I mean, this Kale, again, if you're running the Universal Survival Arc team, this Kale could be good. And remember, I mean, we're still going to be getting ultra-powerful LRs in the future. You know, we're talking things like Full Power Jiren, you know, Mastered UI Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, you know, characters like that, we're going to be getting them actually coming into Dokkan, right? Like, you know, and they're going to be huge, powerful LRs that are going to need fat gobs of ki. Well, Kale can help make that a reality. I did decide to run Ribrianne, too. Ribrianne, of course, is very, very good for Peppy Gal allies. And Berserk Kale is not on Peppy Gals, but the Super Saiyan 2 version is. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Because, I mean, you know, Kale is hot, right? It's just, you know, her Berserk form, it's a little bit different type of hot, I guess we could say. I feel like that probably is very effective. Okay, not a great attack stat. Is that my Kaioken Goku? No, that's okay, the friend was only at 55%, that's why. He doesn't have Fierce Battle active, so yeah, I mean, I like Blue Kaioken Goku. I do. Honestly, I don't dislike him. I don't hate him, but I would argue that he's either the most overrated unit in the game or, like, top 2 or 3 or something like that. I can't even think of another unit I would put over him. I mean, maybe some people would say that, like, I overrate, like, LR UI Goku, sure, but, like, it's not the same thing, I don't think. So, that's a real big thing to point out. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what our girl Kale will do right here. So, of course, now we have God Topa on rotation. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with Kale and Caulifla, by the way. So, we're starting the turn out with them at 22 ki. So, I mean, obviously, ki is not really much of an issue with them. Now, of course, you know, with the Kale, like, they're sharing a good amount of links, right? I mean, they got Prepare for Battle, Tournament of Power, Warriors of Universe 6. I don't think Kale and Khalifa, they don't have Battlefield Diva, do they? No, they do have Battlefield Diva. Okay, yeah, they got Battlefield Diva, they got Warriors of Universe 6, Prepare for Battle, Tournament of Power, they have all that. Plus, Kale's giving 3 key. Okay, so Kale's giving them, what, 2, 4, 6, 9, 12. Okay, Kale is giving LR, Kale, and Khalifa 12 key. 2 from Battlefield Diva, 2 from Warriors of Universe 6, 2 from Prepare for Battle, 3 from Tournament of Power, and then 3 from her support type passive. I mean, that's obviously just a monstrous number, right? I am also using this AGL Khalifa right here. Again, like, now between, you know, Blue Cow and Goku coming out with Bergamo, and then now this whole Universe 6 celebration, plus, like, Skinny Boo from Golden Week, Universe's Rival Arc has now gotten a lot of powerful units added to it, right? It does feel like they're kind of loosening things up a little bit. Like, okay. You know, Heroes stuff is coming in the future. You know, LRs, Dokkan Fest exclusives, that's going to be uber, mega, ridiculously hype. So maybe they're thinking now, like, okay, we can go ahead and chill out on whatchamacallit. We can go ahead and chill out on like holding back on the Tournament of Power characters, right? Because for a long time they were very, 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 very hesitant. Now, not really so much. So, all right, let's go ahead and I guess we'll probably finish up with this turn. Let's see what Kale and Khalifa do right here, and then we might go ahead and finish up. I mean, we've seen what we needed to see from Kale. Kale, of course, is, you know, a very good support type unit. She's going to help out, you know, all these teams that have a lot of the female 6 Saiyans. Like, they're going to look a lot better alongside this Kale. So, very well done by Dokkan, giving a unit that's several years old, Dokkan Awakening, and she's, like, really, really good. Alright, so this is first step as a warrior, Super Saiyan 2 Kale, and again, you know, to specify, she's, of course, Super Saiyan 2 Kale right there. So, I mean, there's not actually a Super Saiyan 1 version of Kale in the game, like, because the Berserk Kale, right, I mean, they don't even have her with the Super Saiyan link or on the Super Saiyan category. I mean, Kale is Super Saiyan 1 in the TUR version of Kale and Khalifa, right? Like, because as base, like, you know, SSR, their base, TUR, they're Super Saiyan 1, and then LR, they're Super Saiyan 2. But we could still use a standalone version of just Super Saiyan Kale, right? They definitely could do that. Kale's leader skill is int type key 3 and 50% of stats. Her leader skill sucks, but I mean, that doesn't really matter for a unit like this. Her super attack is the Resist Blast, which does supreme damage and lowers defense. Honestly, she is already good enough, but I feel like they could have given her stacking defense as well. Like, I understand, like, she's already a ridiculously powerful support type unit, but, like, they could have made her, I think, a bit better defensively, because, like, stacking defense, it's not like that would have made her, like, a goddess in, like, you know, Universal Survival Arc category Super Battle Road or anything like that. You know, it would have helped for long events, but I do feel like they could have given her that, because just, like, supreme damage and lowers defense, I mean, that's just fodder, right? Her passive skill, Khalifa's Faith, gives her Universal Survival Saga category allies key 2 and 30% attack and defense. And then she gets 50% defense if there's an ally whose name includes Khalifa on the team, which is fine. Like, I never have minded those when you just need that character on the team, because that doesn't really hamper, like, rotations and team building and stuff like that. But then furthermore, Kale gets all allies an additional 1 key and 10% attack and defense if there's an ally whose name includes Khalifa attacking in the same turn. I mean, at the very least, Khalifa is very, very common. There's a ton of really good Khalifa units. You know, you're going to want to run Khalifas on, like, all of these teams right here anyway, so it's not really going to hurt you too much, but, you know, if you don't happen to have her on the same rotation, it's going to lower the abilities. That's why, like, having characters on the same rotation, I don't like, just on the same team should be enough. Like, in Android 16, think of how much better he would be if he gave the 50% attack buff, just as long as he was on the same team as Gohan. See, like, that would make Android 16, like, ludicrously powerful for, like, the Android/Cell Saga. But they made it that has to be the same rotation, which just really hampers those units because they don't really work together. So it's stupid, right? At the very least, Kale and Khalifa obviously work incredibly well together. Kale's links are Super Saiyan, Battlefield Diva, Rival Duo, Warriors of Universe 6, Prepared for Battle, Tournament of Power, and Shattering Limit. I love this. Now, I'm always complaining about the the female Universe 6 characters and how they have, like, no attack links, right? They're just all key links. Pretty much most of them are like that. This Kale does have Super Saiyan, but she's also got Rival Duo. Now, the thing about Rival Duo is that matters, because on the Universal Survival Arc team, LR Goku and Frieza have Rival Duo. I mean, we know them as easily one of the strongest characters, like, you know, in the game, right? Vados has got Rival Duo as well. Whis has Rival Duo. And then the STR base form Kale has also got Rival Duo. So there are some units that we could get near this Kale that are going to share Rival Duo. But again, having that with LR Goku and Frieza is huge. Doesn't 17 actually also have that? He does, yeah. So having Rival Duo is very helpful. Kale's 12 multiplier is 145%. Wow, not bad. And then finally, she is on a few different category teams here. So she is, of course, on... This is Peppy Gals right here, where I think she'll be at least a decent option, right? Then over here, she is on the Universal Survival Arc team, which is, you know, also getting really, really powerful. Down here, she's on Pure Saiyans, which, you know, every 5 seconds gets monstrous, massive buffs. She's also on Full Power, I guess could be interesting. You know, her giving the buff to, like, Kale and Khalifa, who are on Full Power. You know, the AGL Khalifa, stuff like that. So, like, this Kale definitely will work on Full Power. She's also over here on Universe 6, which will be very, very good. You know, again, Universe 6 doesn't really need the help, but they got it. Super Saiyan 2. I see, like, all these teams have just a ton of these Universe 6 females, so that's really good. And then Rapid Growth, finally, another team just with a billion of these Universe 6 female characters. So there you guys go. This Kale is super good. Make sure to grind her up. Rainbowing her, I think, is not a mistake. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.